All right. Let me test here. It says I'm live. I never believe it. So bear with me. I appreciate you going through the drill with. They say that you should really grab your audience at the very beginning of your program, so they'll want to stick around and stuff. And so I hope that me doing technical checks, I hope that really captures the audience and makes them want to stick around for more. Because I know it's absolutely riveting to see me checking all of the things. And of course, we're not on YouTube yet again. Because I mean, why would you want it to work? This is becoming a trend. And I'm going to talk to my guests here in just a moment. Because you know what? Hell, I'm going to get them in right now. Because even if their stuff isn't working, it's going to work out. Oh wait, oh my goodness! First of all, Adam Johnson at Lectern Leader on X. How are you doing, sir? Look at this. See this? See, his mic's not working, and I can't tell if he's just messing with me or if it's actually not working, because all three of us have had such a time today trying to get our stuff to work. There it is, Adam. No? So, see, look at this. Hold on. Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay. Oh, this is a disaster. No. Okay. And then okay, so you work on that. This is awesome. I hope y'all are hooked, because I can't get on YouTube, right, as you well know. Jonathan Haggerty can't seem to stay connected, and now Adam Johnson has no audio whatsoever. So I don't know. Y'all, I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for your time and your patience. So while I wait for my buddies to reconnect, dear God, let me just tell you. Oh, I gotta let Adam back in. He left and now he's back. Hold on. Okay. Don't touch a thing. Don't touch a thing.
I unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Right? I swear. Because you and I were just lamenting before we went live. We were talking about how we won't touch anything. Everything will work perfectly. We will sit down the next time and try to do a show, and all hell is broken loose. Nothing works. Things are flashing. I could get into my USB hub that has a mind of its own. But what is our problem? What is our problem, man?
It's gremlins. That's the only logical explanation. It's gremlins in the machines.
Yeah, I don't know. And J-Hag, Jonathan Haggerty, will be joining us at some point, but he keeps fading in and out. Whose computer? This is my other question. I think it's this one, because I keep hearing a computer like rev and then go back down, and I don't know if it's yours or mine, but let me put this disclaimer out there. This laptop is so hot to the freaking touch, I could just vanish in a moment. It's either an EMP or my computer gave up the ghost once and for all. Anyway, how are you today, Adam?
Man, I can't complain. Life is good. I've got my health. I got my family. Trying to finish up the book. Getting very close.
What is the title of the book going to be called, and is it too soon to pre-order?
It is too soon to pre-order. It's called Taking a Stand.
Taking a Stand. Oh my gosh. The double entendre. For those unfamiliar, and I'm sure Adam loves hearing this for the last 4 years of his life, but at Lectern Leader on Twitter, he famously, or infamously, carried the Speaker of the House lectern 10 feet. It was already sitting out in public view and easily accessible. He didn't go and steal it from anyone. He just picked it up, smiled at the camera, and waved. And of course, got solitary confinement for his trouble, because this is America, where I guess we, A, don't have a sense of humor, or B, have any justice left either. So, let me ask you this, Adam, because I absolutely love the silhouette there, like on the hat and everything. Is your merchandise, is that for sale? I want a winter hat like that.
We are so close. We're doing the... We have
Okay.
the payment processing set up. That's all been authorized. So we have a shopping cart that works on the website. Website is like 90%. We're just fine tuning it. We do have merchandise. It will be going up for sale. And what we have decided to do is kind of tongue in cheek. We are going to give away 50% of all of the profits to my charity, so we can be called mostly charitable.
And you make sure that I know when you go live with that, when you start doing that, because I want to promote that, and I want to place an order. Real quick, let me ask the lovely audience here who has found the chat. So hold on a second. Let me just ask y'all this. Is the chat working and the video stream not working? Is that what's happening? Oh, wait, hold on. We're live, maybe. We look to be live on YouTube. I think Wes jumped in and started something there. Thank you, Wes. I know it was you behind the curtain there. Okay, so real quick, ladies that are over there, audio good, everything fine, right? Don't talk about the air conditioner that you can't hear. I know, Sue. So anyway, I just want to make sure that everybody hears us okay, and Jonathan will join us as soon as he can. Let's see here. While we wait for Jonathan, let me just also remind you that obviously on X at Keith Malinak and Instagram, Gabby doing all sorts of great stuff at the Mike Show over there. What else I got for you? Spotify, iTunes, all sorts of good stuff. So there you go. Next week, next Thursday, don't forget, we're doing the America Stonehenge. So be watching for the deep dive. Okay, Adam, I don't know if I want to, I think I'm going to skip the rapid fire, or the not so rapid fire questions for a moment. That's good. Hold on, that's progress, Adam. Look at this. Tam says she can see Keith and hear him. That's always helpful.
We're halfway there.
Okay, good. Okay, so very good. My goodness, let's see here. Bear with me, Adam. I'm just trying to make sure everything is working here. Okay, we're good. Okay, I'm going to come back.
It's Friday. I've got all the time in the world.
Yeah, let me ask you this, because yes, it's, and I hesitate to bring it up like this, but I almost feel like I'm rubbing it in. But I'm not really rubbing it in because I like cold weather. I actually like the snow and the cold and all that good stuff. However, here in the South, you live in Florida, I live in Texas, it is getting warm quite quickly here. Well, how is it over there in Florida, though, before I presume?
We actually have a cold front coming through. It hit I think it hit the 60s last night. So we got some firewood out back. We're going to do a bonfire with the kids. We're going to roast some marshmallows tonight and do some hot cocoa and some marshmallows. It'll be good.
Is that the threshold? If it gets below 70 degrees in Florida, that's fire building weather.
Well, it's more about the kids. They love it. I am perpetually warm. I think my body temperature is about 5 degrees warmer than most people. The wife hates it because I keep the house at 68 degrees.
Yep.
All the kids are walking around in snow jackets.
I'm with you, man. In fact, this room actually, it warmed up. I think it's a stupid computer that warmed up the room. But, like, I've got my sleeves pulled up. I got my pants hiked up. I'll spare the visuals from there. But anyway, I'm like you, man. It's just, I'm a furnace, man. Okay, so what I was getting at is I got some lawnmower mistakes for those of you getting ready to cut your grass, because it's that time of year. And this is when you start I'm sorry. Those of you in the South, it's that time of year. Those of you in the North are still digging out of snow. I mean, that storm that went across the top of the country, my goodness, there's a lot going on there. So I hope that wherever you are, you're enjoying the weather. What was it? Willard Scott in your neck of the woods. Okay. Did you know that you can sharpen your mower blade too much? Did you know that's a thing? Oh wait, J-Hag's here. Hold on. J-Hag, what up?
Am I here?
You're here.
Am I?
Yeah, okay, don't touch a thing! I'll tell you what I told Adam. Don't touch a thing, man. All right, so
Oh
how
my
you doing over
God, I fought hard to get back here, Phil. I was in outer space.
There were ninjas. It was an absolute debacle.
I fought my way back through the galactic.
Love it. So, congratulations on joining us. Can I ask you a quick question? Jonathan Haggerty, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, this is, I think, the second time for you, Adam, right? Here on the Friday live stream?
That is correct.
Okay. This is J-Hag's first time, but technically a second, because the last time I had kidney stones and I had to cancel at the last minute. So anyway, but Jonathan, I know that you've got distractions around you today, and so you're juggling several things. So let me ask you this: Are you okay right now? Do you need to go and tend to some stuff? Cause
No, I'm good. We're
good.
live. The Yeti,
yeah.
The Yeti is as Yeti as it gets.
Okay, so the way I met Jonathan Haggerty is I actually went to a health club, and I got one free session with a trainer, and that's this guy right here, Jonathan Haggerty, who I think tried to kill me. I think that was his goal.
No.
and I never went back again.
So
No,
he did his job.
he did his job. That was not fun, J Hag. I mean, hanging with you was fun, and but I'm never. You won't see me on a treadmill ever again. Not with you nearby, you sadistic freak.
Yeah, I mean
Anyway,
it went south pretty quick, and then it came back north. It came back north, but
he tells this story. I must defend my honor. He tells this story that I puked everywhere. I
it
didn't puke
did.
at all. I didn't puke at all. I
I didn't
wanted to.
remember that till you just said that. Yeah, you
I
did.
wanted to. I wanted
I
to.
mean,
No,
It
you made it
happens.
through. You
It
made it
I'm
through,
happens.
sure.
and he didn't. He came back the next day.
This is
No.
very similar to jiu-jitsu. I've been training now for like about 7 years, and the guys that come in the very first week, they always throw up. There's at least one moment they're on the mats for about 20, 30 minutes, and they're always in a trash can at the end of it.
Right.
But they keep coming back to get choked. It's the weirdest thing.
I don't understand it. Like I tell you what, Jonathan Haggerty. If I had the sculpted, toned figure, if I could just start with that, then I would be motivated to maybe work out and maintain it. But I'm not doing the work to get
But
there. Come on now.
that's 99% of the population would say that. I just have to wait till I get ready to get ready, and it doesn't work. Don't.
And also, I did an interview with you, so your life story exists. Honestly, type in Haggerty Malinak, you'll find it. It's on Spotify. It's also on the YouTube channel when the YouTube channel feels like playing nice. But I love your life story, and I want everybody to know that this guy right here has caught a pass from Tom Brady.
That's impressive.
That's awesome, man.
How was the ball? Was it fully inflated or deflated? How did it feel?
Yeah, I'm a pass on that.
Okay, so let's see. I'm just starting to give lawn mowing tips here, and I won't spend too much time on this because I feel that every time I start talking about yard work and stuff, do people mow their lawns anymore? I mean,
Yeah,
okay,
every now and
all
then.
right,
Every now and
every
then. I mean,
now and then.
we
Adam,
had the yard person come the other day, uh,
okay,
just because of busy schedule. But I mean, I grew up doing yard work. That was one of our first hustles, is going through the neighborhood, knocking on doors and asking, could we do people's yards? And so, anything garden and yard is actually therapeutic for me. So I get out there and I put in my earbuds and I'll just go and find myself cleaning up, getting that good sweat, getting that work. But like you say, most of the time it's getting the yard man to do it.
I take care of I got a big garden out back, bushes around the pool and stuff, so I manage those things. But when I went to prison, there's a local yard guy that does all the yards down on my block, and he just cut my grass for free while I was gone.
oh,
I had no
Wow.
idea that was going to happen. He's a really, really nice guy. He's got 6 kids of his own, but he just started cutting my grass for free. And when I got back, I saw him cut my grass one day, so I just hired him to keep doing it. Like, if you're willing to take care of my family while I'm gone, you got yourself a job.
Yeah.
that's cool, man. That's really cool. I use the time in the yard to catch up on podcasts. Like I don't have enough time during the week to. So it may be old news, but I'll get it a week or so later. The problem is in the wintertime, and then it's like, well,
He's
what about?
probably out there getting stung by. He's probably that guy.
You know what? Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
playing, man.
No, you're
Hey,
not.
it's been a long time, man. You know. You
Bro,
know.
it has not. That is absolutely accurate. I'm always hurting myself, but I have a video for you. The segue is too perfect here. I can't. Like, I feel bad, guys, when I'm going to play this for you. This is how you kill wasps or hornets or what have you. Well, not hornets, but wasps this summer. And while I don't want to seek out things to kill, and while I don't want wasps to build against the eaves of my house, although they will, as they do multiple times every summer, you definitely know this in Texas. And Adam, I know you have the same issue in Florida. But check this out. This is a life hack. And am I a bad person for wanting a wasp nest to appear just so that I can try this one neat trick? Look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
So
That's
he put gasoline, I think it is,
yeah. Gasoline will get them instantly. Yeah.
and so he just kind of smothers them, and they fall into this bucket one by one.
Yeah. If they don't fall in the bucket, they're gonna sting you. It's either them or
So
you out here in this life.
look at that one holdout. Look at this.
Hey, that's the one. See, that last one, that's the one that's gonna agitate you at the barbecue. He's gonna get you.
So there you go. I'm kind of hoping for a wasp nest to appear just so I could try that. Okay, so you can over sharpen your mower blade. Did you know that? Like, I don't know how much of this I want to read to you because it could
You're
get
supposed
kind
to
of
sharpen the mower blade?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm gonna be honest with you, because a lot of times if you hit a rock or a piece of wood and you tear up your mower, then it's like it becomes that mower in the shed where you get another one.
Yep.
You
I'm a
call your,
90s
or
kid,
you
get it.
call, that's when you call your yard guy. Hey man, you got the ride mower. Just come on through here, pull out your truck, ride the mower through the yard. And what happened to your mower? Now we ain't gonna talk about that. You know, I call your landscaping company.
Oh,
I'm a
I
90s
just
kid, so we just throw things away once they're broken. When they don't work just
see
right, we just put it out by the curb and go buy a new one.
Yeah.
that's funny. That's accurate. Yeah, because as you're saying that, I have two weed eaters in the garage, and as it's gotten warmer and warmer, I've thought, you know what? I don't want to mess with these. That neither of them work well. So you know what? Maybe I'll just go buy a new one.
It's the time. It's the time involved
Yeah.
in fixing things. And it's like, is my time worth losing half a Sunday, half my weekend, repairing a small engine at a little two-cycle? It isn't. You can get them now used for like 60, $70.
I will be honest. I mean, if I'm someone who probably would take the time if I knew how to do it, I could, but
Yeah.
this is before YouTube and social media, you know. Right now you can look on YouTube and see, okay, if you break your mower or you do this, here's what to do.
YouTube
Like
University.
quick or Google, right? Chat GPT. But, back then in the early 2000s, you break something, you're like,
YouTube is, and I've said it before here, it's like the modern grandfather, like, right? Because if you don't have your grandfather to ask or your dad, YouTube take care of it for you. Let's see, using the wrong mower for the job. These are 5 tips real quick. It just talked, I mean, this is common sense. You don't need a riding mower for like hard to maneuver areas. Mowing from the middle. Listen to this. Yeah, if you start in the middle of the lawn and mow outwards, then it's harder to see. Oh my gosh, it's harder to see where you. That's a stupid tip. Sorry, I thought that was going somewhere else. Mowing the same direction, you don't want to do that because your grass. This is boring. I'm sorry. This is a
no,
stupid
I mean,
topic.
I'm riveted.
Are you?
I am.
You
I
can
think
damage the soil.
I'm gonna go switch laundry over while you're reading that out.
Okay, let's see what else I got here. Oh, J-Hag's here. So now we can do the not so rapid fire questions. So let's start with you, Adam. What, if anything, belongs on hash browns, sir?
Tabasco.
Okay.
Hot sauce in general.
Yep.
Not
All right.
not that one brand. What is it? Cholula? That stuff's garbage. That's salsa.
What?
Stop calling it hot
hey,
That's the only
smell
hot
it.
sauce that I enjoy.
Folks, I
sauce.
disagree.
Salsa. That's like a watery salsa.
I wasn't even. See, I wasn't.
Okay,
I was just gonna say, okay, you're cool,
okay.
but then you brought out that, and
Cholula
that
is
hurt me.
the second. Louisiana is my first, so I kind of rock with that.
Okay.
Okay,
That's acceptable. I will meet you halfway.
but I do ketchup. What's wrong? Is that a problem with anybody
What,
here?
on hash browns?
Yeah.
No, that's a standard. That's a
Okay, just
standard.
making sure. All right. I feel judged whenever I post pictures on Twitter of hash browns with ketchup on it. People come out of the woodwork to mock me. What is that? I don't understand.
How
It's
much
like
ketchup
sugary
are you putting
spaghetti
there?
sauce. Yeah. You know what this
No comment.
not pasta needs? Tomato sauce.
Got it. So, J-Hag, what 3 words would you use to describe your personality, sir?
Royal.
So hang on a second. Now let's just stop right there. Is royal part of your name, or are you just telling us that you're actually royalty?
Royal is part of my name, and both.
Okay.
Actually, both. So you're correct on both.
Because your email was like your whole name, and now I get it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. Royal. You said 3 words.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do all 3 if you just want to leave it at royal.
Yeah, I mean royal, spiritual, not as in new age, spiritual as in.
Not stones
Yeah.
and crystals laid out
Yeah,
in front
no,
of you.
no,
Okay.
no. And if I could sum it up, I mean wellness,
Okay.
wellness.
I like it.
Yeah, because that covers sport, health, and all that. So wellness. nutrition, right? Wellness.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think you kind of like torturing people because
No, man.
cause you really seem to enjoy yourself that one day at the gym.
Well, I think I'm, I love what I do, and I'm very passionate about helping others. I don't think you had any protein shake or any food on your stomach before that. I think that's why you threw up
I love
in
anything.
that girl's bag. I don't.
Just right into it.
I love how this story is getting new details every time I talk about this. Okay, where did we leave off
I'm
here?
playing.
Adam, let's talk about your personality, huh?
Well, I think impetuous is probably the first word.
Don't make me Google words, man.
It
That's
means quick to act without thought.
Oh,
Just
I like that.
no.
right into it. So impetuous.
Impetuous.
Yeah, it's a good word. Resilience is probably another one.
Okay.
Can I say retarded?
Of course you can say
Oh,
retarded.
like you were going in resilience and you just went two directions.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. It
Well,
works.
sometimes those two things work hand in hand. Maybe I shouldn't be so resilient. And I'm kind of retarded for being so resilient. I can give
I
up a
like
couple
it.
of things. I will die on very weird hills.
Let's see here. What is one country you want to travel to, Adam?
Today, not many, because I think I'd be arrested for the things I say online. So I'm good in Florida.
I'm good in Florida. You can find me here. That's awesome. Okay, let's see here. Mr. Haggerty, what is one country you want to travel to?
Definitely Egypt. I would love to see them pyramids. You know, it's so historical to know that something was built like thousands of years ago.
Right, by aliens.
Yeah,
Amen.
the first alien historical dig site. I look
Yeah,
forward to it.
so yeah, I would say that.
I'm using that, Adam. The first alien historical dig site. Consider that stolen, Mr. Johnson. That is awesome. Okay, let's see here. Mr. Jonathan Haggerty, what is the weirdest date you've ever been on?
I could tell you maybe two
Hold
of
on,
those.
hit pause, hit pause, hit pause.
My
Mr.
bad.
Haggerty, what is the weirdest date you've ever been on? PG.
No, I was gonna keep it PG. I was gonna keep it PG. So yeah. So I'll tell you this one. This one
Okay.
happened in college. So right around the time that I did my pro day for college for the NFL, I was dating this young lady, and it was around my birthday. So I got back to the college, and she was like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I'm just like, I'm a simple guy, like I don't need, something extravagant. Like, it's cool if we go someplace to eat. So she's like, so where do you want to go to eat? I was like, it really doesn't matter. Like, you pick the place, and I'll enjoy. So she's not even familiar with my campus, and so she picks this place. We go in, and they're doing the radio station. So they're doing it live in the restaurant. My head coach is there. We come in, get seated, and the host of the radio station looks over at me, and he's like, you could hear him in the restaurant, like the speakers. He's like, we got Jonathan Haggerty in here. Hold on, folks. And so he gets up from the show, walks over to the table,
Oh
and he
no.
said, he said, Jonathan, do you mind if I interview you about, your pro day and everything? And I was like, if it's okay with her. And she was looking like, because she didn't know, I played football at that level. She was looking, and all I said to her was, you brought me here. Like, you picked this place.
Oh no.
And so I did the interview, and she waited patiently, and I went back and sat down, and she was like,
Never saw her
"Wow."
again. Yeah. So did you get a second date out of that or no?
You said keep it PG.
So
This is a family
as a
show.
family show, sure, yeah. All right. Well, that's. I was trying to think here how. And I've told this story before where I took this chick to a movie and it was a blind date and it was nowhere near my school district yet. All these kids from my high school were in line or showed up and walked up, and it looked like I'd set it up, you know, like talk to me so I don't have to talk with her. Anyway, okay, so Adam, how about a weird date for you, man?
All right, so one of two directions here. How about a date that never happened, but I tried really
Oh
hard?
my! Don't give no Manti Teo Part 2.
Okay, so
You know that story, right, Adam? He had a fake girlfriend online.
no.
Monte Day, a former football player.
Messed
That's
up the
awesome.
whole
Okay.
national championship, man.
This is a
Yeah,
good
okay.
story.
Yeah.
There is an ice rink by where I live, and it's 2 ice rinks and a roller skating rink. When I was 90s, I'm like 16 years old, and I go rollerblading at the roller rink. It's what we used to do. There's this chick who's working at the ticket counter when you get in, who's very attractive. So I say to myself, if I work here, she'll eventually go on a date with me. You gotta wear him down over time. It's that proximity effect.
Proximity effect. I'm stealing that one too.
He had a plan.
I had a plan.
You had a
I had a
plan.
plan.
Resilience.
So I went to go apply for a job there, and the only position open was an ice hockey referee. Now, I don't ice skate, and I don't watch hockey. But I got an interview, and I convinced the general manager that I was a proficient at both. Little did I know, I didn't think too hard about this because I was just excited about the date that was going to happen eventually, that I would actually have to do that job. So day one, I get there, like, all right, get your skates on. I'm like, I forgot my skates at home. Like, you didn't bring skates to an ice hockey rental? Well, go get some rental ones. So I'm trying to tie up my laces. I've never ice skated in my life. They send me out onto the ice, and I'm hanging on to the boards, just walking down the side. It didn't take very long for them to realize that I am neither an ice skater or a hockey referee. So they put me on an ice skate rental. I stayed in
This is a movie, bro.
I stayed in this job for about a week before they fired me, but I was there long enough to find out the girl had a boyfriend, so I was like, I guess I don't want this job anyway.
Oh, man. That was a valiant effort, though.
This got to be one of the best stories I've ever heard.
You got to put the effort in up front. They have to know you're willing to put effort in.
Yeah.
I'm here for the long haul. I will lie to everyone to go on a date with you.
Look, I'm very proud of you.
That's the
I'm not only proud for you of having the plan, but trying to work the plan. I'm just sorry that they had standards and wanted someone who knew the rules and knew how to skate. Jerks.
That's not the first time I did this either. I did it a second time. There was
what happened?
It's a restaurant down the street where I lived. There was a waitress who was very pretty, and I walked in one day and I said, I went to the kitchen. I'm like, I got hired as a short-term cook, coming in to cook service. So I cooked an entire service there. I had been a line cook previously, so I know what I was doing. And at the end of the shift, talked to the girl, whatever. The chef's like, hey, you coming back tomorrow? I'm like, I don't actually work here. I just want to try to talk to her.
So this would be a great time to ask him what are 3 words to refresh the audience that describes him, because he is true to that.
Hold on a second.
Impetuous is definitely there, and
definitely,
and retarded. So,
second, Jonathan, are you in a bowling alley right now? Is that what's happening? Like, I'm just wondering where you are exactly.
No, this is our clubhouse at my.
Well.
It looks nice, right? The brick finish.
Yeah, it is nice.
I do want to go bowl though. Y'all up for it? Y'all up for it? Are you in Texas, Adam?
No,
I'm out there all the time. So
We gotta go bowl.
out there. It's a nice place.
All right, the 3 of us are going bowling next time that Adam's in town.
Yeah, we gotta go bowling.
I should
That'll
be
be
there
fun.
in August or September.
Hey, man.
Wait a minute, those are the 2 months that I'm not going to be here. No,
Well,
we'll
I
figure this
planned
out.
it.
Okay.
That hurt. So okay, I was gonna hold on to that wasp video for this part of the show, but since I've already blown that one, I already played it here. Go ahead and tell me, Mr. Adam, what's the best life hack that you would like to share with everyone? Something like the killing of the wasps.
I would say for cooking, if you're making cheeseburgers, one of the things people do, they lay their bacon on top of the burger. You take a bite, you pull out the whole piece of bacon, right? Chop your bacon up in smaller pieces and melt it into the cheese. You get bacon every bite without pulling it out.
God.
That is too easy yet so profound. I love that. I'm doing that. Okay, so now I'm having a bacon cheeseburger tonight, and I'm going bowling. Okay.
Good plans.
J-Hag, what do you got for a life hack?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be boring after that answer. My best life hack, it would definitely be the Bible, just because.
Okay.
Wow, comes out swinging with that one.
Hang on a second. We're gonna hit pause, and then you can talk to us about the Bible. But you know what this is, gentlemen? and future guests and audience, you know what this is? This is, if you could have dinner with anyone, who would it be? Well, I'm picking Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah.
You can't pick
I
Jesus!
can pick if you can have dinner with anyone because look, the food is not gonna run out. It's gonna taste the best.
Have you had kosher food though?
Kosher? No.
Any good? Okay, so read the Bible every day. Jonathan Haggerty with Life Hacks 101.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
like it.
yeah, I would say I think the true your true purpose, if you're wanting to hack because every one of us is good at something, and so the Bible gives you the key to operating in your purpose to release the ability of God, which is a hack in itself.
Dang, bro.
I'm writing that
This
down.
is the
I'm sorry.
deepest. This is the deepest that we've ever had.
You asked me what three words that describe me. What did I
I
say?
like it.
Spiritual is one, so it's in line. Me and Adam are both in line with him almost breaking his leg for a love that never happened, and me
You
with
know,
the
you know. Hold on. In retrospect, I'm surprised that the three words that you were going to describe weren't Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
hey, we could have
But
went there. We could
could
have
have
went
done
there.
that. Okay. You guys ever use AI much?
Why you keep balling up paper?
Because I'm done with what is
Stop
it?
wasting
I'm done
paper.
with our questions.
You should just tear it instead.
Yeah.
Okay, I ended up back here. Okay, so do you guys ever use AI? Like, because I'm finding that like Google now half the time defaults to AI. Grok is on Twitter. There's just Chat GPT, but it's kind of replacing search engines, really.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh no,
Go ahead.
this is you. This is you.
I think I think it's more about AI trying to use us. Like I find myself when I'm traveling or even my bank account. They say, okay, you can get the tickets online for the Mavericks. I say, hey man, get out of my bank account. What do you? That's not. Have y'all seen
Wait
that?
a minute. How? What did you give them your credit?
No.
Is there a backstory?
It's like one of those links where it's like where it like refreshes you on things like if you want to download Zelle, you can use this or this or that. And so I looked the other day and it was like get your Mavericks tickets and I was like, "What? You can't tell
Hold
me
on.
how to spend my money?"
Well, hang on a second.
I said, "How much are the tickets, chat?"
This is
Was this
What
was
we
this
sitting
before or after the Luca trade?
at?
Oh my gosh, what a crap! That's a trash team. I'm sorry. Normally those teams are based in Atlanta, Georgia, but you
Wow.
traded Luca. You traded Luca. Then
I didn't
you
trade you.
jacked up the Mavericks. Trade Luca. Then they raised the price for season tickets for next. Are they on crack? Then, as if karma jumped in there, 5 minutes later, what's his name? Kyrie Irving is out for the year. It's like they're cursed now. They're cursed. The
Oh,
Luca
man, don't
curse.
say that. The Mavericks are not cursed. We're limping, but we're not
I see.
cursed. And I don't want to give you my whole spiel on it. I'm gonna leave it alone because we're live.
Wait, your whole spiel on what? Oh, the Mavericks?
Yeah, and I see Mark Cuban like very often, and I respect him. So I'm gonna just you know
That's
I'm gonna
cool.
leave it. I'm gonna
Well,
leave it
there's
at
one of
that.
us on here that respects him. So, okay, I want to say that
Shout out to Mark.
shout out to Mark. Yeah, he'll see this. So, you talk about how creepy that intrusion into your bank account was. I will say, and I've mentioned this before. My address. How do I say this? Let me back up.
It's public
There's
knowledge.
somebody. There's somebody that sent me or wanted to send me like a Christmas gift, and they reached out to me and they texted me and they said, "Is this your address?" And I said, "No, it's in the same neighborhood, but no, that's not my address. This is my address." And I could never figure out where he got that address. But the only place, ladies and gentlemen, that I have entered that address is on my map app.
so
What?
if you are taking pictures in your neighborhood, you can upload those photos and have AI figure out whereabouts you live. They can identify street markers, house
You're
numbers in the
easily
background.
found.
So, but what I'm saying is, I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's creepy. I do not give my phone permission. I know it's taking the liberty anyway, but this happened before AI was really a thing. Somehow Google Maps had taken the faux address that I had put in my phone and put it in a database somewhere where it was accessible. You see what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah,
only place it was entered was so like when you hit home on Google Maps, it takes you to that address.
man, that's
I don't like it.
that's
Anyway,
scary.
so the only reason I bring this up is because apparently AI chatbots are showing the same cognitive decline as the human brain as they age.
What?
AI is still a new and emerging area of technology, meaning not much is known about how it performs over time. In an effort to understand how age affects AI, a team of data scientists and neurologists from Tel Aviv University undertook research and found generative chatbots like ChatGPT and Google Gemini. Don't get me started on Google Gemini. Ugh. Show similar signs of cognitive impairment and degradation with age as human brains. How wild is this?
I'm not even playing that game.
So I do wonder, there's a thing called neuroplasticity in neurogenesis that happens in people who are older. So
Okay.
if you have the potential to regrow parts of your brain if you're continually exercising it, right? Otherwise, you end up getting basically atrophy, right? So those things we used to be able to do, like mentally, they start going away if you don't exercise it. I do wonder how much of the AI aging is just a product of just seeing the same garbage over and over again. Because you'd have to assume that people using the AI are all people who are probably frequently online, right? At least the largest population are asking the same questions, doing the same things. And I do wonder if AI is not having the full experience of exercising completely because it is the same population over and over again. It's not
Getting
new
burnt
once
out.
it's worked.
That is
That was
something else.
that was
That's a great. That's better than this article, bro.
great answer,
I'm
by
not
the
even.
way. Like
I think what I was gonna read from
he
this
went to
is
Harvard.
It is my degree, actually, my background. So
Yeah, I was like, well, you knocked that out the park,
we're gonna have to.
Professor Adam.
You know what? Hey, push your microphone back. If you're gonna sit up on it like that, then push it back from us because it's just pegging the meter here.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't want. I want. No. Listen. I want you to be your lovely self. I want you to be animated.
Is it right
I
here?
just need that microphone to back off. It's the mic's fault.
Okay.
Okay.
you could
Yeah.
do no wrongs.
Yeah, of course. But okay, you know what? That your explanation, Adam, is much better than this article.
Yeah, that was actually fire. He did that.
I don't even like this article now. Now it's stupid.
If the skating ring woman is out there somewhere,
Yeah.
she needs to
Tell her
look
I'm
this
married,
part.
15
It's
years
too
deep,
late.
5 kids.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
all set.
Okay.
It's too late for her. All right, so since we're talking about technology and all this AI stuff, do you feel, raise your hand if you feel that you're on your phone too much for where you want to be? I know that's a convoluted way of saying, are you on your phone too much? Anyone? It's just me? Just me.
I'll say it like this.
Okay? I don't know what that means.
I'm a
So, yes.
I'm a person that I cognitively and cognizant I'm very cognizant of the time that I spend on my phone, and I there are times where I like even like this week particularly I do take a step back from it, and let's say I'm watching a movie or just doing something like playing with my daughters or whatever, like I'll make sure my phone is not in the room so I can be present in the moment.
That's good.
The thing about all of us, right? The world that we live in is much different than the world that we grew up in. So a lot of the things that we do and the connections that we have and the touch points that we have, whether it be with food, people, business, a lot of that is filtered through our phone. So it's hard to
Right.
not do it. But I think, we all need to just at times really take sabbaticals and really put those boundaries in place based on your life, based on your schedule, because everybody's different, everybody works different. So,
Are you a life coach for somebody?
yeah,
Look at
you,
you.
man.
Oh, jeez. Here we go. Hang on a second. Let me hit pause though, because I want to revisit that. That's really good stuff there, Jonathan. But let's see here. Hang on a second. I'm just looking for something, y'all. Stand by. Hang on a second. I gotta scroll this thing all the
That
way
is
down.
well put, Mr. Haggerty.
Thank
Very
you.
well put.
See, Look at this, man. He's
I
a
went
psychiatrist.
camping last weekend with my wife and a couple of friends, and I think I posted twice, but didn't really respond to comments. It was just a way to unplug and get back into things that matter.
Yeah, that that's
Okay,
that's very great, man.
so
Go ahead.
I want to get back on this because I seriously do, but I'm stumped for a moment here. Adam is kindly, and I love it when guests do this, he's responding in the chat. But why am I not seeing Adam's responses on YouTube? Just saying. I don't understand. Because he's responding, and I hope everybody can see your responses. I hope you're not, like, responding into the ether. That's all I'm trying. That's all I'm looking out for you, Mr. Johnson.
I have no idea. No, I'll do a test one. Here we go.
In the chat?
Test.
Yeah, in the chat, I see his responses on here, but I don't see him on YouTube, and I feel like people think that don't realize that he's responding to them. Huh.
He's
Anyway,
engaged.
sorry.
He's engaged with the audience, right?
I try to, if they're here listening, taking their time to come say hi and listen, I may as well respond back. It's
Right,
it's
right.
polite.
Right. That's kind of
it
first
is.
hand.
I can't because I can't multitask. My brain is too simple. Linda says, Adam's responses are not visible on YouTube. Dang, bro. I'm so sorry.
Why?
He's been, you're on so many lists.
You're blocked.
Okay. So, Jonathan, my coworker, Stu Bergier, when I interviewed him in much the same fashion I interviewed you about your life story, he made just a great point. We're so busy trying to capture our moments from life with our phones that we just end up not
Hold on.
experiencing
I'm sorry.
life to the fullest.
I'm sorry. I have to cut you off. Never ask a man a question while you're putting on chapstick.
My
This
lips
is
are
okay.
burning.
Thank you so much. I've been to prison, and that just gave me vibes for I don't think we should be on the same stream.
Yeah,
need to
like
go down the block. There's
you're
a
like,
place
so
for you.
tell me.
My lips lately have been burning
Nope,
non-stop.
nope.
That's
can't
bro
have no excuse.
code. Never ask a bro
Hang on, time out.
a
Stop. Hang on.
question while you put.
1 second.
Hey, yeah, where you going? You gonna go bowling? Cause we going out there.
Adam, you sure do have a purty mouth. Did you ever get to hear that one in there? No, hopefully
Did
not.
not. Again, we're gonna keep this PG.
What? How bad did it get for you in there? Like, did you ever have to get in a fight?
So there's a lot of misconceptions about prison. Prison is probably the most racist place I've ever been.
Wow.
But also, the most, there's so much community there, right? So there are places you're allowed to go, there are TV rooms, there are things you can and can't do, people you can and can't talk to, that's all fine. Saturday, Sunday hits, everyone's making food, it's a big communal space, we're all watching sports together, it's the weirdest thing in the world, right? But as far as fights and stuff go, look, you get in a fight in prison, everyone loses their privileges, your commissary's gone, people are going to isolation, you want to lose your yard time, look, go get in a fight, but everyone gets punished. They do corporal punishment. So most people, they're just trying to do their time and get back out.
Wow.
For the listeners out there, he had such a great answer. I know it might sound like you want to go, but you don't want to go.
I don't know, man. I ran 200 miles across a couple of months. I read 37 books and lost 20 pounds. So it was more of a retreat than anything else.
So hang on, there's a hierarchy in prison, yeah?
There's not. This doesn't reflect everybody's experience.
It does not. It does
These
not.
statements have not been regulated by the.
So hang on, Adam, did you move up the ranks? Did you have your own gang that you were in charge of, or never quite?
The thing everyone wants is to lose commissary because they
Right.
feed you so little. It's a potato diet, man. They
Oh,
are
man.
not giving you the calories you need to sustain yourself. Commissary is the only way you can actually eat. You lose commissary, everyone's starving. This is why they have I won't get too esoteric here, but this is why they run shops in prison. So in prison, you run a shop, you buy out all the tuna, all the salmon, all the beans, all the protein stuff you can from commissary, and you sell it at a higher rate to other people. If you run a shop, they'll take all of your stuff and throw it away. So it takes everyone in prison on the same level. We're all wearing the same clothes. So everyone's on the same level. You don't snitch on each other. You keep to yourself so you can have food on the weekends.
Okay, interesting. Wow, I can't wait for your book.
It's almost done.
I'm serious, yeah. What's the, for those that may have tuned in late, remind us of the title and roughly when it might be released?
It's called Taking a Stand, and it's probably going to be coming out around September.
Nice.
The book is, look, it's full of jokes. We talk about some dark stuff, some stuff that, that is difficult to hear. but it's meant to be light. It's meant to make light of things, because at the end of the day, man, I want to make lemonade. People can throw rocks all day long. I want to build towers out of them. So if we can't have that moment where we're looking at, hey, this bad thing may have happened to me. Maybe it was injustice, depending on your political affiliation. Regardless, if we can't look at this through the lens of if it happened to you over something so menial as a trespassing charge, maybe don't celebrate that, because whatever power you give to the government, to defeat your enemies, will be used against you on a long enough timeline. So don't celebrate your enemies falling and being slaughtered for things that you don't want to be taken for in the same sense.
That's man, I'm looking forward to this book, bro.
I'll send you a copy, man. You can definitely have one.
Yeah, I need one.
I
got you. I'll bring 2 copies out to Dallas then.
I'm buying a hat too. I can't wait to buy a hat. Okay, so
I'm sorry. You were asking me something earlier before the chapstick. I don't know what it was.
I'm sorry for distracting everyone in the world with my chapstick.
Sue in the commentary, another J6er said he was moved around and would lose all his commentary purchases. Yes, they call that diesel therapy. So if you are a problem person in prison, they don't like you, they will ship you to a new prison every couple of weeks. In the process, they'll have you in isolation for a whole week before you go to Gen Pop. It's called diesel therapy. They do it to people who cause problems in prison.
Well then, interesting.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
Lots of fun stuff. So...
Sorry, you were asking
let's get
Jonathan
back to
a question.
talking about
Sorry.
cell phones and time spent on them. No. So here's a quick question for you, because I want to know what you think of this. First of all, how long do you think you could go without your phone? Forever? I mean, that could be an answer. If someone took your phone away from you right now, could you, in theory, I mean, you'd have to learn to, but I mean, how would you take that? Jonathan, how would you take not having a cell phone at all?
I really wouldn't care. I think, it's like when I was in high school, I think the first time I got a cell phone was college. So I think because we're so used to having it, we feel we can't do without it. But if we had to do without it, we could do without it. So, and then half the people who, that you communicate with, or I would say that the most important people that you communicate with are like your family. Like
you don't need a phone for.
You don't need a phone for that.
Well, hold on a second. When are you gonna see me, bro? Because
you got my email, man. No, just like. These are all. Listen, tell them these are all jokes. Keith is my guy. That's my bro. So like, we're being sarcastic. We haven't saw each other in such a long time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, but of course, after the chapstick incident, now you're like, I don't know about this guy. Okay, so because I asked this because I think that immediately, if I'm being honest, I think in the immediate aftermath, I would be like, detox. Oh my gosh, I'm having the shakes here. But then, actually, I think it would be liberating eventually. And I bring this up because there's a story out of London, and I think this is fascinating. But get this, there's a thing called the Offline Club where young adults, they pay, and there's a waiting list, and not everybody makes it, but they pay to be more than the 150 young adults between 20 and 35 that end up just hanging out together at this, I think it's at a church, like a church basement or something, and they just play board games. There's no phones, there's no nothing. It's just like, you look at people, you make eye contact.
Real. Yeah.
You learn how to spend time with each other without, just looking down at your phone.
Right.
And I find it fascinating that it is so popular. And they talk about waiting lists and all this stuff.
I mean,
this one guy, he says like he leaves his phone at the door and he finds it freeing. They sit around, they learn how to sew. And then I love this though. This one chick apply chapstick. I mean, you gotta do that. And
he ain't gonna never let that go in its own line.
No, I know. Nope. I love how this one chick, she had a great time. She hates that she uses her phone so much. It makes her angry at herself. And then it says, as soon as the evening was over, though, she switched her phone back on, scanning her screen. So anyway, and the funny thing is, how did they find out? How did they find out about these screen-free nights? On social media, on Instagram. So, I mean...
Yeah, it's to your point, there's a couple things. So the other day, I actually was going to pick up my daughters, and I accidentally left my phone. And driving to their school, it was just like relaxing because I hadn't did that in a while. I was like, oh man, I left my phone, and then I was
That
like,
turned out to be good.
it's cool. And then another thing is, I think we miss moments because we're so involved with our cell phone. I'm gonna give an example. So there's I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the Rockwall Harbor. Maybe not. It's
No, I don't get out much.
it's in Rockwall. They have like restaurants and everything. And so one
Yeah,
day I
next
was
to
over
Dallas.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One day I was over there, and the water beautiful, and just enjoying the scenery, and I was on my phone, and then something told me, like, just put your phone down. And literally I put my phone down, and it was a woman and her daughter walking, and she said hi, and we struck up a conversation. And I think she's a counselor, and we just start talking, and exchange information and stuff like that. But I doubt that moment would have ever happened if I'd have been like sitting down in my phone. She actually would have probably walked past me, and I never would have met her. So it's just like little things like that where,
Yeah.
we miss moments even in the gym as well. Everybody is wearing headphones, and you kind of,
Or
it's a
puking.
lost art.
That human contact. Yeah, you miss that opportunity if you're always buried in your phone. Okay, so what's the grossest thing you've ever eaten, Adam Johnson?
So I worked in a restaurant when I was younger. We talked about this. And next door to the restaurant was a Chinese restaurant. And if you ever had actual traditional Chinese food, it is not what they're serving you at the buffet. It's not that. So the grossest thing I've eaten is
I don't like where this is going, bro.
fish eyes and a shiitake mushroom.
Oh, baby.
Yup.
So you did this willingly?
Well, I did it because I was polite and they didn't speak English, and I don't know that they understood ooh gross. So I ate one and thanked them and left.
Yeah. Do you remember when George Bush Sr. vomited over there in Japan?
No.
And they said he was sick. Oh, I see. I'm so old. You guys are such babies. Okay, so he's at a state dinner, and you see him
Just like George.
Okay, I have not looked up this story in the 30, 40 years since it happened, but I bet he was eating something like maybe it was sushi. I have no idea. But I wonder, was he really sick, or did he have a fisheye served to him, But you said,
They said it's a delicacy. I don't believe them. I think there
Right,
are some parts of the animal you can throw away and not feel bad about it.
Right. They were setting you up, bro. J-Hag? No.
I don't even know if I want.
Okay, then don't. Is it a pig's anus? What are we doing
No,
here?
man. Come on, man.
I don't know. Well, I didn't know where you're going.
Why did you have to go that far?
Because I'm making it better. So whatever you say now, it
Okay.
can't be that bad.
No, it ain't. So I'll say this. I love my mom's cooking, and I really don't.
Someone
Throw
tag
Mom
her.
under the
Someone
bus.
tag her in this.
I love my mom's cooking, and I really don't eat other people's cooking like that. And so I went to this guest house on one occasion, and I'll try to be like very generic because I respect this person, but we had lasagna, and it just wasn't, you do a 1-2 bite, and then I got to 1-2. Normally when you get to 3, but I got to 1-2, and I knew this just don't. Yes. And this is my first time in their home. I don't want to be like disrespectful and like spit it out right in front of you.
You don't want to be putting chapstick on.
Oh man, it was horrible, man. It was, man. And then and I had to somehow chew
Yeah.
but not swallow.
Right. Yeah. We've all been there.
And then when they looked the other way, like I was like, excuse me. I got up, and I fake like I'm coughing, like,
Yep.
and put it in my hand. And then after that, I just I was like, y'all got some water? And it was like, yeah. So I drank the water, swished it in my mouth and drank it. And I was like, nah, I can't finish this. So I threw, because it was the first bite, so this much lasagna is left. I'm
Uh
like, I'm
huh.
not about to eat this. So I threw it away, and it was one of those deals like, if
That's where you're hoping they have a dog that you could sneak off some
my
bites
God,
to, right? But look, we've all been there, and here is where the horror of the whole moment is when you run out of napkin space,
there
right?
you go, there you
And
go.
so now your fist is clenched, and now you got nothing. Now you're, oh no, what am I doing now?
And that's why I don't eat at people's like unless you trust it. I'm not about to go to everybody's house and because I don't know what y'all got going on, man. You cooking? Nah, you know.
Okay,
I make good
well,
food. You come over, I'll make you a proper
Yeah,
dinner.
we're gonna have to. So has Keith ate some of your dishes?
You
I've
can
no no,
I make actually fantastic food. I
What
smoke
what's your
but
specialty?
I have to go to Florida for it.
you like fish?
Yeah, yeah,
Do you like salmon?
yeah. That's my favorite because I'm
Oh
allergic to
man,
shellfish. So
There you
salmon
go.
and my tuna. Yeah.
So last night I did a truffled couscous with oyster mushrooms, and I did a smoked salmon after dry browning it for 24 hours. We did a hollandaise sauce that was infused with dill, so
But yeah, what?
it's a proper
See,
dish.
he's using those terms. Yeah, he can cook. Yeah, yeah. You good. You passed the test. Anybody who say infused, I trust.
Oh, life
that
hacks.
is such a
So
point.
another life hack: if you're cooking and you want to put flavors of your herbs in there, so rosemary, thyme, dill, things like this, don't waste your time chopping up small pieces. Get yourself a coffee filter, put the herbs in that, tie it off, and then cook it in your food. You get all that flavor without having to sieve things out,
Yeah,
chop
nah.
things
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. You
This
legit, bro.
guy,
You legit. Yeah,
so
yeah,
true.
yeah. He's
That is a great point. Okay, so I have to ask this question because I have a story. Because you know the elites of the world keep trying to steer us toward eating bugs and all sorts of good stuff. Now they won't eat them, but
It's the
go
yeah.
get a Happy Meal.
here it comes. Is cockroach milk the next big superfood, and would you try it?
Not for me.
I got nipples, Greg.
Hold on.
This
What?
feels like a joke. Like this article doesn't even feel real. Is it April
You
1st yet?
said cockroach milk.
Milk, yeah.
Cockroach anything.
But it's one of the most nutrient dense substances on our planet,
Well,
Jonathan.
you go get your nutrients.
Now, but wait, now you are a health conscious individual.
Yeah, and
You could tell a client about this.
Okay,
no,
cockroaches aren't mammals, and
Thank you. I had the
phylogeny
same thought.
suggests that being a mammal means you have to lactate and all. There's a whole like series of things.
But listen, I'm
So where
100%
does the
with you.
milk come from?
So okay, here's a
Whose idea was it to
paragraph.
milk cockroaches? Can we start there and have that
So
person put in prison?
so this is really gross. So bear with me. There was a study in the Journal of International Union of Crystallography analyzed the milk-like fluid that's produced by female Pacific beetle cockroaches to feed their young. They found that the yellowish substance,
okay, that's
it's
fine.
calorie-rich. I don't like this story anymore. I don't think we
My
should.
question to them is how they know.
How did they? Okay, but who paid for this? You know we paid for this
And
study.
then my other thing is, if it's so healthy, you take 10 people and just take some 2% or vitamin D milk in a clear cup and drop a dead cockroach in there and let's see what they feel about the nutrients, right? If they gonna drink that milk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
nah.
Let's
You
move
can
on.
study it all you want to. Good
uh,
luck.
Adam, on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you about an asteroid possibly hitting the planet?
After that story, I mean, send it.
Amen.
I'm ready, Jesus, take me home.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, oh, my laptop is on the other side of the room. It's waiting for that sweet meteor of death. Yeah, I don't know because there's been a lot of talk about this 2024 YR4 asteroid that they said, oh, there's a 2%, there's a 3%, there's a 1% chance. Now they're saying it's probably going to hit the moon. And then I have a companion story here that actually says there is a 1 in 1,000 chance that an asteroid of that size, there's a 1 in 59,000 chance of a typical asteroid of hitting us, which those odds don't sound I don't like those odds. And then it also said that so any asteroid. So let me start over. Any asteroid, 1 in 59,000 chance. Those odds are too low to begin with. Then it says an asteroid of impactful size, it could really do some damage, 1 in 59,000. I got my numbers mixed up there. I'm Joe Biden when it comes to numbers, Joe. I'm sorry. So I just wonder, do you guys have any concern whatsoever? I just feel like one day out of the blue, we're going to get hit and we're not going to have any warning, and it's just going to happen. Anybody concerned at all?
Rip the Band-Aid.
Good.
As far as
live
I'm
your
concerned.
life.
Yeah.
Live your life.
You said on a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10?
Let's go 1 to 10.
1.
Okay.
Because here's the truth.
Space
If
is
an
not real.
asteroid is big enough and it's bigger than the size of Earth or half the size, then you ain't got. You better be worried about meeting your maker. That should be your concern, because if it hit, then you gone anyway. So I don't think people should be too concerned. I think, handle your business, love the people that you love, live your life, eat great fish like Adam cooks, stay prayed up, because when it ends, and it does end for us all, at the end of the day, whether people are thinking about asteroid, it could happen, in traffic or plane or sleep or,
Especially with a
so
female pilot, yeah.
no, enjoy your, oh no.
I'm so
no.
sorry.
Enjoy.
So this story said that scientists that study this stuff, that they've gone through this long debate on at what point do they tell the public about a particular asteroid. Like, that's a big debate within the asteroid learning community, I guess.
Still,
I'm
we only have
good.
seen files.
I ain't
so-
worried about nothing, so I'm gonna be with God. So if anything pop off, so yeah,
I'll see you there. I'll
It
see you there.
squish everybody else like bugs.
What is happening? Let's see. Oh, have you guys ever heard the Williams X jet? Have you ever heard of this thing? I want you to see this video footage from I think it's 79. I don't know why I'm thinking 1979. Yeah, 1979. Okay, why don't we have this today? Look at this thing. This is real. This is real. This
No,
is real.
They do.
I want
I ain't
one.
gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That one's pretty cool. But they have the jetpacks, and I know
Yeah.
but that one's, hey, this one's fire. You can pull up through the drive-through. Hey,
It
I
was
think
powered.
I saw some Ewoks flying these in what was it, the 6th Star Wars?
Iron Man.
Let's see. It was powered by a turbojet. It was controlled by leaning. It could reach speeds of 60 miles per hour. It could fly for 40 minutes. Despite the fact it worked very well, it was found that platforms like this had little military use. Helicopters and other small conventional aircraft could do the job better, carry more, and were less vulnerable. So if you can figure out a use for it with the military, then I guess it'll go somewhere. But I love that, and I want one right now. I want to fly those to work. Look at that. Can you imagine rolling into your job in
I
the parking
know.
lot? One of those. I don't know.
That's pretty
I don't know.
amazing. I want these for trick-or-treating with the kids.
Yeah.
Better
I
than
don't
a
want
golf
to walk
cart.
everywhere. Yeah, I don't want to go.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's pretty cool. And this was in the 70s, you say?
1979.
That's like more advanced than where we are.
Go do a deep dive of DARPA. Do you know what DARPA is?
Yes.
They're coming after you,
Talk to
Adam.
me.
Yeah, do a deep dive into
Yeah,
DARPA.
they are.
Oh, they have. I survived. Resilient.
That's what I'm talking about.
And retarded for keep talking about it.
Let's see. Hold on. I'm looking for another video here.
Yeah, that they got the jetpack, they got the cars. I mean, I guess drones are the version of that now, right?
They have a
Hi,
heart
guys.
attack gun.
This
Did you
innovation
know this?
process.
What?
Oh,
Whoops,
it's
my
real.
bad. Sorry. Let's see here. What were you saying? I'm sorry, guys. I was trying to
They
find
have
this video.
drones and the flying cars and things like that. I'm pretty sure they have a version of that. They just haven't probably released it to the public.
We have these in Florida, off of the coast. They have jetpacks to go over the water.
Mm-hmm.
They're hydro pumps. They're hooked up to the boat.
How much that cost to do for 5
I
minutes?
think it's like $400 or $500.
What do you get?
Oh, so you go out there and rent them?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cool.
Come to Florida. I'll make you fish, and we'll go ride jetpacks.
Oh, so you rode one?
Not yet. I'm waiting for you.
I was about to say we need Keith to pull up that footage. We need the footage of Adam on one.
What do you get on those, Adam? Do you know, for $400 or $500?
I want to believe the rental is like 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I want it for
Rip
the
off.
day.
That's a rip off.
I want it for the day. All right, so let me
This
play this
innovation
here. Check
promises
this
a
out.
whole new skiing experience.
Yeah, water,
do you think of this thing?
water
snow,
jet.
and even in
It's called what? Water jetpack. All right, Jonathan, when are we going to Florida?
Let me know.
Yeah. Okay.
We can probably go.
even into cityscape.
Right.
Can't go April or May.
Cityscapes. Let's take a closer look. at
Will
how
you
it
let me
works.
know?
Okay, we'll figure it out. Adam, we're coming to your
Steel
house.
One is a
Yeah, come
distinctive
on over.
electric
I'll heat
Hey,
some
I'll wear those.
smoker going.
touted as the world's first.
I would break my
electric
ankles doing this thing.
So those are electric.
scooter. Features a patent.
Mhm.
Keith, nobody
Those are
cares
nice.
about your stupid. Nobody cares about your whatever this is
But
called.
all of this is sedentary stuff. Like, you look at it, I mean, those used to be
Yeah.
rollerblades. Everything is going sedentary.
Right.
So what's the weight restriction on these? Because
Yeah,
they-
even
we're gonna
even
be-
I saw somebody on the bike last night and they wasn't
Allows for
pedaling and the bike was going. I was like,
defeating the
Riders can
purpose.
accelerate,
Yeah.
decelerate, and stop using a mechanical braking system.
I'd rather do that
while steering
Williams
is
X
achieved
Jet
by
thing.
leaning.
no, I like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like that. I don't. I mean, I love rollerblading is one of my things. But if I want to go like super far, I ain't gonna lie. I rock with that. You know, because them legs get tired.
It's this or a Vespa.
Range,
You know.
Wait a minute. I know what Vespa. Remind me what a Vespa
and an
is.
anti-slip foot pad.
Hang on.
paired
You
with
don't know what a
snowboard
Vespa
inspired
is? That's how you
bindings.
put it on
The design
chapstick.
adds an extra layer of safety.
Wait, God Almighty! What have I done?
Powered by dual
What have I
removable
done?
Hey, you
batteries,
marked yourself. They're gonna know you as a
claims a range
chapstick.
of up to 18.6
Don't make me
miles
Google
per charge
what-
for urban
Chapstick
skiing.
Keith.
With
That's what we're
distance
gonna.
Chapstick Keith.
That's the new moniker. I love it.
Its 4 electric motors enable a top
I'll do a
speed of
painting
50
next
miles
month.
per hour.
Chapstick
though
Keith,
this is
it'll be-
capped at
Wait, it's
15.5
a car?
miles per hour
What?
to ensure safe
It's
urban
a
riding
car,
in
Adam?
compliance
No,
with
Vespa.
regulations.
VE.
Okay.
While the concept of
VSPA,
urban skiing
Vespa.
is
What is it?
captivating, the unique design may
Yeah,
come
the
with a
little
learning
scooter
curve,
thing.
Let me see.
especially
Okay,
for those
now the
unfamiliar with
chapstick thing is
ski or
funny.
hoverboard mechanics. Safety concerns.
I
could
forgot. I
arise at
knew
high
the Vespa
speeds,
thing.
as
Okay,
the
what else
system
I
might
got
lack
here?
stability during peak performance.
Let's see here. Hey, do you guys ever see
Furthermore,
these?
delivery has
you know
been
what I haven't done yet?
postponed,
Crap.
with plans
Hang
to
on.
start shipping
Let me
by
clear
April
out. Everything must go.
2025
Let me
due to
clear
pending
out.
patents and design modifications.
I got a couple of animal videos
It's advisable
here.
to
I
thoroughly
don't have a
research
lot
and
going on
evaluate.
here with animal videos. What is this one here? I don't even know what this is. No, that's cute.
Wow.
That's a kitten and a baby drinking milk together. See, not roach milk.
I would
That'd be
never.
gross.
I don't know if I would never have that. Right? Them claws. I hope it don't have.
Cat.
Yeah, no.
Look at that. Oh, look at that.
But that's
But you're right. You don't need claws that close to a baby.
yeah, no,
Oh,
because it's
baby's
one
gonna-
one little and it's
One little battle cry from
Yep.
a kitten. Yeah. Well, that's some Florida stuff right there.
Yeah,
No,
and
I
that
get it.
actually ended okay. That video, that cat or dog or whatever got something out of the crocodile's mouth or alligator's mouth.
They're not very temperamental. Alligators. I have like a 13-footer.
They're methodical, right?
Yeah, they're lazy. They float around.
Yes.
I will tell you
Yes.
though, if they outgrow the food source that's around, they do get hungry.
Lord.
Let me play this for you. Did I ask you guys in the email what's the biggest prank you've ever pulled?
No.
Yeah, I've got
Okay,
one.
be thinking about that because I played this at the end of last. Oh no, Adam, I'm sorry. Adam's biggest prank was stealing the lectern that belonged to the Speaker of the House. No,
No, that was a mishap.
It was a
my
mishap.
That was a
God.
misunderstanding between me and the federal government.
Yeah, I played this video at the end of last week's show, and I just wanted to know if you guys had a prank because I see it's still in here. I still think this is the greatest prank of all
My
time,
daughter is
where the teenage girls, supposedly teenage girls, are upstairs messing with a Ouija board, and the dad goes out to the
breaker box.
power box, breaker box, and is like, "Yeah, let's have some fun with the light in her room." You hear him screaming in the background. Oh wait, I have the volume down. Sorry, I had the volume down. I'm sorry, I can't get enough of this video. I don't know why.
Yeah, you shouldn't be playing like that.
Anybody got any wild pranks you'd care to share with the class?
So, when I got sentenced to go to prison, I created a fake Facebook account under the name Frederick Muhlenberg. Frederick Muhlenberg was the first Speaker of the House.
It's a deep dive right here.
Yeah, so I planned a going to prison party, and I made a public invite to everyone in town to come out and celebrate with me at this restaurant. The restaurant had no idea what was happening, and it went national. There were news stories written about it. You can Google it. All these stories come out. What they failed to realize is I planned it on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, because I knew if I planned a going to prison party, they would report on it, because anything I did during that time was a news story. I had asked to go to see my grandparents and the kids for Christmas. They ran news stories on that.
Wow.
J6 insurrectionist wants to see his family for the holidays. So I thought, I'm going to throw this party, a fake party, and see if anyone bites. Well, they bit. And it was news story after news story after news story. Now, truth be told, we did have a going to prison party, but it was not made public. A bunch of friends came out. It was a good time. But this restaurant got in trouble. They were having death threats called in. They had bomb threats called in. People were saying they were going to come and do violent things to their servers. It was absolutely nuts.
Just because, and they unknowingly were hosting your party, right? I mean, they didn't know? Oh my gosh, people are so sick, man.
They really are. They really are. It's like, what?
Yeah,
My friends and family before I leave for a couple of months on my all men's retreat.
Oh no. Okay. Let's see here. Do you guys play golf?
Yeah.
I mean, I go golfing.
J-Hag, did you have a prank for us there, or no?
You really think I'm gonna go after what Adam said? There ain't that.
Okay, so what's
I
the
mean,
answer on golf?
Yeah.
Prank. That's a prank. If the news media shows up,
Yeah, I
that's a
thought
prank.
I had a story until he. No, that's a real prank.
Aw.
We drove by the restaurant that night just to see, what the turnout was. The entire parking lot absolutely full. There was parking all over the streets. There were a couple of news outlets there in case I did show up. It was a whole thing.
Hilarious. Okay, who plays golf here? Anybody? No?
Not
well.
like that.
No. Okay, I want to believe what I'm about to play you guys happened. It looks totally real, but you don't know what to believe anymore. This is an impossible golf shot. Your thoughts, gentlemen.
AI.
Here we go. He hits it backwards. Did you see that?
Oh my god. No, it could happen.
Right? So
Hold on.
play it again. So he's got his back turned,
Yeah.
you see, and he kind of spins it because with the lip of the bunker there.
Yeah.
You're able to.
I mean, I don't think that's.
So it makes sense with physics, right? But
Yeah, that's what we call an impossible shot, but it could happen. I
Now,
mean,
people would say,
it depends
why is
on
the
how
guy
many
recording?
times. If you ask me if I think he did that on the first try, I don't know about that. He looks like
I
a
wanna
sharp
see-
golfer though.
There's a
But look,
second guy videographing when the camera pulls away. I want to see his angle of the shot. I
Yeah,
want to see that video.
yeah. I
Because
mean,
this is why I think it's legit. Because your instinct, because I mean, we're obviously jaded, rightfully so in this world. But why is the guy recording on the green? Well, I don't know, because his buddy is trying this impossible,
yeah, he had to do that.
backspin shot.
I would say he probably had to do that 5 or 10 times, like out there, and then he probably like, okay,
He's
That's a
using
great
the right club. He is using a wedge.
yeah.
It does have like a 56-degree angle on it, so it
But
is
how
like
much
that
time?
inverted.
You're on the course. You got people waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't sit here and it is raining. There might
I mean,
be a lot of
depending
people.
on where they were. I mean, because I've been to courses and we've tried to hit shots like multiple times. Like, okay, let's try it again. Let's try it again. So yeah, that's probably like something they were doing. Now, for him to do that on the first try, I don't know. But if if he's a really good golfer, like not an expert, but just a really good golfer who can, like Adam say, hit with the wedge a couple times, you do that, you might be able to knock it in.
I don't.
There's a trick shot in billiards. Is what is it? It's something Minnesota Fats. His entire thing was doing trick shots on the billiards. And you have to assume that he did that shot over and over and over again until he found out that's how the trick works, all angles, right? So maybe, possibly, maybe he started in his garage. How can I hook a ball backwards?
Huh. All right. Maybe I'm just jealous, and that's
Now,
why
now,
I'm
yeah.
believing it.
Here's my deal: is for somebody to do that, like, does this person have an Instagram or social media where they're showing you, like, that's not the only video like that, or this person like actually goes out and golfs a lot, you know? Because if it's just a one-off like that, I'm like,
All right.
Maybe
I don't
like
own a drone.
Martha's Vineyard Globetrotters or something.
Okay, so I don't own a drone, but now I want one just because I want to do this. Watch this, and you can play. Please play. It's not gonna play, guys. So what they did is it's not gonna be funny with trying to describe it, but just I want you to imagine with your mind's eye a drone with the body of the drone it looks like Superman, and so they're flying this thing around, and it's hysterical.
always.
But not as funny as it could be if you actually had the video to play for your friends. Well, I don't know. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Watch this. This is hysterical. I want to fly this over a crowd.
No.
Right? I want to do this. I don't want to do it over an abandoned desert.
That's very creative.
I want to do this over a crowd.
Over
Over a protest.
over a restaurant where people are eating outside, or
His kryptonite is strong winds.
and then you gotta have somebody in a van playing the Superman music, like on the loudspeakers.
Yeah.
Have you seen the guy who taxidermied his cat into a drone?
No, I haven't.
No. Sir, you need to Google that right now.
Must I?
Yeah. Everyone should see this once in their lifetime because it is the most bizarre study of humans I've ever seen.
But, okay, let me try to get it up here on the screen here. Hang on. Y'all enjoy that loud
just
drone.
Google cat drone.
Cat drone. Cat drone. Here we go. Let's see here. Let's see what I find here. God, even the thumbnail is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Did he hate it? Hang on.
This is
I'm gonna have nightmares. Hang on. I'll get this to play for y'all. Just stand by.
Oh, come on.
yeah.
Stand by.
So that question, do I regret being on my phone as much as I am? To know the cat drone video exists, yes.
Hang on, y'all. I'm trying to get this to work. It's not being friendly. Hang on. Let me share the screen. Hang on. Oh my gosh, this is insane. Here we go.
No. Is that a real cat?
That's a real cat.
God.
And I wanted to know.
Yeah, what kind of man would?
Come on with it.
With him, I was going to make a point.
Boy.
I was going to make a point? What point is he going for here?
There he is. Orville Copter.
Orville Copter, the poor dog.
Engineer
no,
called
that
out.
should be illegal.
We're
Okay, this guy's twisted.
Yeah, that should be illegal.
That is,
Well, it's the UK, so
everything else is over there.
I know.
Hell, this show today is probably illegal over there. Okay, what else I
Great.
got here? Clearing them out. All the videos must go. I think I got... What is it? Okay. Obviously, I like to injure myself. I've done it many, many times. They're documented on X, especially with the hedge clippers. Everybody knows about how I almost lost 3 fingers. Yay. But what is the strangest way you've ever been injured, Jonathan Haggerty?
This was a serious one. I was in college, and we're in the dormitory, and like this is like an old dormitory window, and the window is up, and we're just out, talking to like football teammates and everything in the dorm, and the window falls, and I'm trying to get like do my hand, put it out the window. It caught my finger, and This thing was so sharp and it hit so hard that when the window slammed, I thought my fingers were on the other side, like that fell down. That's how hard it was. And if anybody know me, I don't like knives, I don't like blood or nothing like that. So I was like, ah. And then my friend lifted up the window and I pulled my hand back. I didn't even want to look at my hand because I thought my fingers were gone. And I like, I opened and it was like nearly, because it had got to the bone. So I had to, I had to get emergency stitches. They called my head coach in. Nearly my whole football team was in the hospital with me. It was just,
Ugh.
that was the worst one
What
of
did the injury report say?
finger.
Finger cut.
Yeah, finger.
Finger.
Well, actually, in that instance, it was the off season, so
Okay.
I got well enough to play in the spring game. So they made like a mini cast, molded it to my finger, and we ain't gonna talk about me scoring the first play first.
Did you make finger puppets out of them? Did you draw like faces and
Hey, listen,
plays?
that was the most, because your fingers and toes probably are the most sensitive with the nerve endings. I would not wish that on anybody. That is the worst. Oh my God.
I know. I cut the top of my thumb off with a table saw.
What the?
You see that?
Oh.
Yeah, it's just gone.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
when did you do that?
This was a couple of years ago. The wife was very upset because I was sending her pictures. It looked like a Muppet head. And I was like doing videos like, I need help. My thumb's no longer attached. She didn't like it.
Oh,
Wait, you
my.
did it right after it happened? You were
Yeah.
sending your videos?
Oh,
Didn't
you
that
can't
hurt?
miss these golden moments. That's an
Yeah, but
opportunity.
I gotta get to the hospital.
Yeah, for real.
No. Okay, well, by the way,
That's not the
you've
strangest injury, though.
you inspired me. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Why is the middle one happy?
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
Why is this one pissed? What's his deal? Anyway, okay, so what's the weirdest one then?
In jiu-jitsu, so I used to be a worship pastor years and years ago, so I sang, played guitar, all these things, piano, all this stuff, and I started doing jiu-jitsu for a couple of years, and I got choked so hard once that I lost an octave and a half of my voice. So
Oh,
I can't
wow.
sing. I
That was
lost
perfect.
like half of my voice from being choked so hard.
What person did this to you?
Yeah,
man?
that was
It's a
personal.
pride thing. It was a pride thing. I should have tapped. I could have tapped. I didn't. I thought I could beat it, and it just it obliterated the upper registry of my throat.
How much pain were you in after that?
I think there was a lot more emotional pain than physical pain
Oh my
because
God.
singing was my thing. I loved writing songs. I was in a band. We toured for like a couple of months, and all of that just kind of left. So this thing
Man.
that was like a very large part of my life, I could no longer do. Just a sad face.
Mr. Pinky says, he said,
He's sad for you. That sucks, bro. That is weird.
yeah, that
Okay.
is that's crazy.
You know, animals are really smart. Is this a smart animal, or are we looking too much into this? Look at this. Have I played this before, y'all? I don't know. I feel like I've played this before, where the squirrel leads the mom. Watch this. So I don't know if she.
Is that her finger?
Yeah, I think she must have raised this squirrel or something.
The barefoot makes sense.
Yeah, right. And so she's like, I'm coming. What?
She's leading
Trying
her.
to take her somewhere.
Is this
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
lassie? There's someone stuck down the well.
Right.
You
Okay,
go
go
up,
up.
and we'll go up.
All right, I'll go up too.
I'm
See, she's
coming.
okay. What do
What?
we got up here? Did I already play this, y'all? I feel like I played this, but it's still adorable. She's like, come up here and look.
She has some babies, or let's see.
She's got some babies. You got it.
Wow, I've never seen nothing like that.
Right?
That
This
is.
happened in Florida. I will put money on it.
See the babies in there? I don't know.
There are
She
the
gets a better look here in a
babies.
second.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Wow.
Let's see the babies. There they are. See, that's pretty adorable, right? That's
Wow.
cute. How cool.
Hey, no, that I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I've never seen a squirrel do that. I've only read
I
about
don't
it.
know, man. Be kind to animals. Well, Let's see here. I really don't have much else here to converse about, so I'm not going to keep you guys around much longer. J-Hag, I know you're on limited time anyhow today because you got some little ones running around there. Adam, I'm going to send you off to your weekend as well. I will say we have to arrange a trip. Both Jonathan and myself need to get out to Florida, and of course you need to come here. And we expect a good meal, Adam.
Hey, yeah.
You guys like brisket?
Hey,
Yeah,
let's
but that's our
go.
job. This is Texas. We got to
Yeah,
do that for you.
of course.
I mess around with some brisket. I do. I've been smoking for a few years, and
Let's get it.
Okay, we got to find him a kitchen. Make him come here and cook for us, in addition to the bowling.
let's make it happen.
That's easy. Say less.
Listen, everybody, thanks so much for rolling. I'm glad to see that YouTube is up and working today, and obviously on X. Thank y'all very much. I don't want to make any promises. Tomorrow morning, we'll see what time I wake up, and maybe I'll do a live stream. We'll see. On Thursday, don't forget, it's the America Stonehenge is our deep dive, and I've got, you need to follow Fancy This on X and Forest Mommy. Those are my two guests a week from today for the Friday live
Forest
stream.
Mommy's coming on. I love her. She's fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to be hanging out here on Friday afternoon for the live stream. Everybody have a great weekend. Please stay safe, and thanks so much for hanging out. We'll see you later.
See ya.